was in the middle of the night, like 3 o'clock in the morning, and I guess I was dreaming. I might have been dreaming, but I felt like I was wide awake, and I couldn't move.
Hey you guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. So today I am joined by the one and only, my favorite guest, my mom. Woo!
Hi Betty.
Alright, so today everything's gonna be a little bit different. I'm using a different camera than usual because my other one's been ruining stuff and I didn't want to have to make my mom refilm. So this is a different camera. We can't see ourselves at all, which is very unusual. And my light setup is different. I got my light down really low. So today my mom has joined me for an episode of I Know What I Saw. Finally. And it took a lot of convincing. And then I just woke her up. So, yay. But, yeah, she's going to tell us her stories as to, well, first of all, do you fully believe in ghosts?
No.
You don't fully believe? You feel like everything can some way be explained? Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, tell us some of the stories that have made you wonder.
Well, I guess back a few years ago before we moved here, I woke up it was in the middle of the night, like 3 o'clock in the morning, and I guess I was dreaming. I might have been dreaming, but I felt like I was wide awake, and I couldn't move. And I don't know why. I couldn't open my mouth, I couldn't speak, I couldn't move, I couldn't...
But it was kind of like sleep paralysis, kind of like you open your eyes and you just couldn't move.
I was paralyzed.
Yeah.
But I could feel pressure walking, like on the bed and walking over me. And I could feel it. There was something looking down at me, but I couldn't see who it was. And then, it occurred to me that it could have been, like Grandpa, or it could have been your dad. I don't know.
But you've had more than just that experience in the house. Like,
Well,
in the old house, so we're talking about the one in Owen Sound,
right,
before we moved here.
Right.
So we lived in that house for, I was like 14 until 18, so 4 or 5 years?
Probably 6 years.
Okay, so we lived in that house for about 6 years. You guys know the experiences I've had, so these are the ones that she's had. So, other than the sleep paralysis, you said you've had other ones.
Yeah, we had one of those candles, that was in like a little bowl.
Okay.
And it was like a little scented candle.
Okay.
And it was on the windowsill, but it wasn't lit. It wasn't lit. It was just, I was walking from the dining room out to the back room where the candle was on the windowsill, and it just, like, it didn't fall onto the floor. It was like like somebody had picked it up and held it out and then dropped it. Like, it didn't just fall off. And I thought,
Like you watched it reach out kind of thing?
Yep. Like it came off and dropped.
Fun times.
Yeah, and I said, "Okay, Jeff, I know you're there." I was like, "Thanks."
And that was in this house or the old one?
This house.
That was in this house.
Yeah.
There was another one at the old house that you were telling me about the other night.
Oh, yeah. I can't remember. I think it was winter. I think it was winter, and I was going. I don't even remember where I was going, but I felt the pressure. I felt pressure on. It was actually my left shoulder, but I felt pressure on my shoulder, and I just felt. I didn't hear anybody whisper to me, but I felt that I was being told to stay. And I did. I just took it as a warning. felt something. I felt that I was given a warning.
And did you end up going that night, or did you stay
No.
home?
No, I stayed home.
So you were given a warning and you listened to it. So then what have you experienced? You actually had an experience yesterday, right? So
Thursday.
so
Yeah,
today-
coming home on Thursday.
Okay, so just today is November 2nd.
So that was,
Halloween.
Halloween day. Coming home on Thursday, like coming home from work, and my glove box just decided to open gently.
Oh, it didn't just flop open, it like actually just opened nicely?
It did. It opened nicely. It was like somebody just pushed the button and it just like came open very gently. I'm like, what? Okay. So I just reached over and slammed it. There's been reports by a couple of people that they've seen people or ghosts or spirits in this house. I haven't seen anything or heard anything.
There was one time. I did put this in my video, and then I actually cut it because I wanted to talk about it with you here. So, remember the time that I had put Colby to bed, and I came down and I was like messing around on my computer, and then we both decided it's bedtime. And so we were walking up the stairs, and I went to flick on the light, which we have a light switch on the bottom of the stairs and at the top of the stairs for the same light. And so I flicked on the light, and nothing happens. And I'm like, is this light blown already? Like, did you not, like, just change it? Like, do you remember this? And then
I do, yeah.
Yeah, and so I was walking up the stairs,
And that was a relatively new light bulb in there.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't work.
Yeah, and because I took my flashlight, so I went first because I have the flashlight on my phone. So I went first, and we didn't have Maya yet. So Elsa was right behind me, and she got halfway up the stairs and started growling. And you were right behind her, and you're like, just shush, go, go, go. And so
I thought she was afraid of the dark. I don't know.
But we were going up the stairs.
Yeah.
And then we, I always, do my
Because
face
I tried using the switch on the bottom of it to turn it on and off.
Oh, you tried everything. Like, we literally,
Yeah.
I flicked the switch upstairs or downstairs thinking maybe it was like a fuse or something downstairs, and you went and messed with that. But, yeah, when we were in the bathroom, and I was like, well, I did go to the cemetery today, and I kind of, in a desperate state of mind, I guess, I did ask Dad, like, give me a sign if you're with me. That was the very night that this happened. And so we were in the bathroom, and I finally, I just, when you think, when you think something and you're putting so much pressure on yourself, but it was something that I was kind of embarrassed about, that I was in that state that I went to the cemetery, and I asked for a sign, and I was like, Mom, so I was at the cemetery today, and I did ask Dad for a sign, and you got kind of annoyed. You're like, stop talking like you're bringing things home. You watch too much TV.
Right.
So
I said you watched too much of that paranormal TV stuff.
And then you walked out of the bathroom, and what happened?
The light came on.
And then you came back and you said, maybe you're right, Michelle. That was the last time we ever really talked about it, until the other night.
Because I did everything. I tried. I even had, I think Colby's stool from the bathroom, because I was a little bit too short to reach. I took the cover off and I twisted it. And now I knew it was like a new light bulb, but I put a new light bulb in.
Yeah, and it still didn't do anything.
No, and then it just came on.
But that's not the only time we've had troubles with that light. So, two different...
There's been 2 times for me.
There was 2 different occasions that I was in the house that, the light just wouldn't work. And one time, after, trying everything, we changed the bulb and everything else, Mom goes up, and she changes the bulb again, because I changed it, and then she went up to change it. And so this switch for the little light thing, it's like a little shell, and it's about it's almost like eye height for me.
Yeah, it does. It looks like a big seashell.
Yeah, and it's like eye height for me, right? So it's about 4.5, 5 feet up, right?
Yeah.
And so my son, when this was going on, my son would have been probably 2. So even with a stool, he would not be able to reach it. But there's a little tiny, because this house is built in 1890. And there's this little tiny switch. It's like you have to pinch it and turn it. And this little tiny switch, and it's really, really stubborn. And that was turned off twice. That I know of, twice. One was, I think you discovered it the first time, and then the second time that the lights wouldn't work, I was like, oh, I think I know what to do. Click, and I was like, what the hell? Alright, so I did mention the light switches, and here's what I mean. So you look, switch off, light off. Switch on, light on. So that is the thing with these lights. So then you go up the stairs, and you come up to a kitty cat. There's the bathroom, and here's the light switch. Now, this bookshelf hasn't always been here. We moved it out of Colby's room when he was like 3 because he kept climbing it. But, so you see this light here. It's not even going to focus on it. Okay, so you see this light here. You see it's like a shell. So I'm going to tell you right now. Okay, so I don't know if you can see me or not, but I'm literally reaching. Like it's like taller than me. I thought it was actually my height. But, so I'm 5'6" and 3/4. And it's taller than me. And this here was in my sister's room too. So, first of all, like, you can't climb that. Second of all, that's like up above our heads. And then you see this here? See? You have to turn it really, really hard. So yeah, if you guys can explain how that light has been switched off like 4 times, cool. But to me, it's not possible. It's just not, unless it's something in the house. Just saying. Anyway, back to the video. And then there's my sister's light.
Oh, yeah, it's one of those touch ones where you touch it and it's dim. You touch it again and it's like medium light, and you touch it again and it's full light.
Yeah.
So, and I know for a fact, I know this because when Carol Ann and Allison left that night, all the lights were off, and I made sure that everything was away from the register.
When Caroline's not home, we keep the heat off, we keep the lights off, and we have a lock on the door just because it's basically just storage.
Right.
So when we know she's coming over, we go up and we like change out all the bedding.
We
turn on the heaters.
Move stuff around and make sure that there's room for them in there.
Yeah.
And when they left that night, I know that light was shut off. And it was like later that night, I got up to go to the bathroom and then I could see the light under the door.
Right.
And I was like, that's strange. And I really hesitated opening the door because, I don't know about ghosts and stuff, but
there is the possibility.
Yes, I know there's a possibility, but I opened the door and I noticed that that lamp was on, and I had to touch it like bang, 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 because it was on low, so I had to hit it to go to medium, high, and then off.
Right.
And I was satisfied, so I closed the door, and then the next night, not that day because it was daylight then, but the next night, underneath the door, I could see the light, and that's when I asked you if you had been in there.
Yeah, and first of all, you're like, I think there's a fly in Caroline's room. I'm like, why do you think that? And you're like, well, because
it might be hitting the...
Yeah, you're like, well, I've turned off that light like 3 times this week, and I don't understand why. And I'm like, what do you mean I've turned it off like 3 times this week too? Like,
right, yeah.
I'd been turning it off too. And okay, so I have the exact same lamp, but like it's the same lamp but a different shade. Like it's the exact same thing. in my room, and it's been in my room for like 4 years. And I've seen bees. We had a wasp in my room one time, and it smashed into that lamp, and that lamp did not turn on. So a fly landing on it will not turn that lamp on. You actually have to like tap like certain spots on it in order to make it work.
But it is that sensitive that all you gotta do is just touch it.
Yeah. So like it was arguable that possibly it wasn't something else, but then something else happened. Mom comes down one day and says, I got sick of turning off that lamp, so
And I unplugged it.
And what did I say? But I unplugged it yesterday.
Right.
I unplugged it the day before, and she had to unplug it again.
But then I was thinking that maybe I went into that room and I plugged it back in. I don't know. But I did unplug it.
And so did I.
And you told me that you unplugged it too.
Anyways, so is there any others that we can think of that have happened? Were there any in the first house?
No.
I know I was afraid in the first house, but I've already talked about that, and this is your episode. But you could always verify. When I was young and in the first house we moved into,
You would not sleep in your own room.
did I ever say why?
I don't recall you saying why.
Yeah,
I think you're paranoid.
probably. Well, because, okay, so you were there, like, ever since I've been interested in paranormal stuff, like the TV shows and stuff, she's always watched them with me. Like, always. So, like, when it came to Ghost Trackers, you actually, like, were, like, trying to figure out how to get me on the show, because I was so into it when I was a kid. Obviously, you didn't have the internet, though, so it wasn't, like, a thing that you could actually actively figure out.
Just to be fair,
Mhm.
Jeff Coffee.
Chip coffee.
Chip Coffee. I really liked him.
Yeah.
Because he seemed to be right in stew with, he could see and hear things like that Long Island medium lady, you know.
Right, and you believe in that too, right? Have you
Right.
ever been to a medium?
No,
We should go sometime.
I have no clue what a medium does, but
Basically what Teresa Caputo does. I'm trying to think of anything else, because I know as soon as I turn off this camera, I'm gonna be like, oh, you should have talked about this, and then I'm gonna be like, oh well. Is there anything else we can think of?
well, then we'll have to save that for another episode because I can't think of anything.
There you
right
go.
now.
If she has any more experiences, she'll do another episode. And I can do that because it's my series. So yeah, no, this house was built in 1890. A lot of people have lived here. And a lot of people, including the people who have built the house, have passed away since living here. Now, we don't know that anyone's ever died here. I've never looked into it. I might look into it someday, but not right now. But so as far as we know, nobody's died here. But there have been quite a few families that have lived here. So, I mean, it's always possible that someone could be drawn back. And especially because it is an older house, it's always possible, right? But, yeah.
I do have a gentleman's name. He is a historian. He knows all about our town, going way back to when the railroad ran through, just in front of our house.
Right.
And he's got all the history on this house.
Do you remember the one time when we were sitting down and we were watching Paranormal State in the house, and I literally, like, I think you watched me. That was a fly. And you, like, watched me look out the window and the lights across the street.
Oh yeah, they're racing.
Yeah,
And we were actually going to call the police.
We did call the police because we were like, maybe it's a burglar alarm or something. They literally, by the time they got there, the lights had stopped. It's never happened since, and it never happened before.
I remember that. It was just like the whole place was alive. Like the lights were just going back and forth and
Now,
like a disco thing.
little tiny plug. If you go back to my Instagram at Say Stella, if you go back far enough, there is actually, I did take a video and I did post it to my Instagram of the lights going off across the street. It was quite the night, wasn't it? was.
It was.
It was
And
stormy.
That's right, because the police said that it might have been an alarm system.
Yeah, and then they said that when they went and checked, everything was still on, like set.
Oh.
So yeah, it's an old town. It's a very historic town, very historic area. So it's not surprising.
No.
Really. But I do think there is something here, even if you find coincidence in everything. But I'm like, I think there's something here. But it's fine. I don't feel in danger or anything like that. So
I personally have not seen anyone that I haven't recognized and that I can't reach out and shake their hand. So, but I just see things happen and I just like blow it off to,
old house.
like her dad or her grandfather, well, it's just like, hi.
Hate to tell you this, but if it's my grandfather or my dad, it would be a ghost. Anyways, I'm gonna wrap up your episode because it's gonna be a little bit longer, and because of the dogs and stuff, I'm gonna have a lot to cut out, a lot to edit. So I do usually say that when I'm doing these videos to watch for orbs and stuff, and I am going to say right now that there is a fly that's just been like circling the camera for the past like 5 minutes. So if you're seeing that, don't point it out because I'm seeing it too. It's fine. Alright, so thank you, Mom, for being in the video.
You're welcome.
It took a lot of convincing because she didn't really want to be on the internet, but she finally said yes, so I'm excited. And
well, I don't have a very good TV personality, I don't think, so.
See?
There it is.
Did you ever see it? Okay. I was like, am I the only one seeing
fly,
it?
it's like a fruit fly.
So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please remember to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already.
That's right. Subscribe to Michelle.
Nope, to Say Stella.
Say Stella. What?
Say Stella is my name online. Yes, that is the end of this episode. Come back next week and you will see another episode. Hopefully, if I can find someone to film one. So if you're watching this one and have a ghost story you'd like to tell me, hit me up because I'm down to hear it, down to film it. And you'll get free shoutouts. Yeah. Alright guys, I'll see you guys next Tuesday and next Thursday. Bye!